A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Welcome to Pavely, Missouri, home to the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. It's time to go bull ring racing here in the heart of these United States. Round number 2 of the Dirt 200 Special. Aptly named for the local hero, Ken Schrader. It's the Schrader Showdown for round number 2 of 6 for this special stage collaborative racing series. We are ready to go here tonight, and unlike last week, we have a full field of drivers plus one. We're sending somebody home for the first time. Not that that's a good thing, but a lot more drivers are going to give it a shot here tonight at I-55. Wouldn't have thunk it that we would outdo the car count from Knoxville at I-55, but I guess these drivers just want to get after it tonight. My name is Tommy Cook here on Turn 200. Happy to have the action here as we are just moments away from qualifying getting underway here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Big winner last week, James Lehman back in the field. 2 of your 3 podium finishers are back this evening. Looks like Matt Williamson is taking the night off. And a lot of familiar names that will be in the field that were not in last week's field, including one driver that just hopped in the chat. Hello to Greg Mall. And we'll see what Greg Mall has got on the dirt. Did awfully good with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series at the dirt track at Charlotte a few weeks ago, as did this driver, Joshua Matichek, the head of the Dirt Track and Sim Racing League. It's the Dirt in the Dirt 200 Special. He won that Max V race at Charlotte, and he is the odds-on favorite to take the victory here tonight. Fastest in practice. We'll see what he's got in qualifying. We'll hop around the field here momentarily as the opening lap for Joshua Matichek is awfully good, to say the least. A 14:19. 3/10 up on Josh Heggie right now, who has provisional second. Matichek, second lap, is a little bit slower. 14:19 is going to be the good lap. How about Matt Schlosser clocking in second quickest? Now Aaron Smith, the second in the 700, goes provisional second now. James Watson is up to second on his second and final lap. 14:30, nearly, or that is what Matichek ran on his second lap, still about 11 hundredths off of the best lap for Joshua Matichek. Looking for drivers on their first lap right now. Stephen C. Thompson's opening lap is slowest overall at the moment. Greg Johnson just jumped up to second. We'll see what he's got here coming to the checkers. And Johnson in the 150, a little bit out of shape there out of the final turn, and will go slower on his second lap, but he is second quickest overall right now. And everybody just about wrapping up their qualifying efforts. 2 drivers have yet to make a qualifying lap. Last week's feature winner, James Lehman, is one of them. And our buddy Hunter Leach is in place of Matt Williamson here tonight, I do believe. He's a local driver from the Florissant area of Missouri. So we'll see if either of them are going to make the track here for qualifying. Here comes Lehman. And let's give you the lay of the land here. This is a little bit over a little bit under 3/8 of a mile. Big banked, a quarter mile in change. Lehman's opening lap is 10th quickest, 14:41. He's looking for a 14:19. We'll see if lap number 2 is going to be the one for him. Running there in the high slick, a little bit quicker. He'll jump up to 9th fastest, but that is all she wrote for the 50 truck. James Watson is still out on track. Still rocking the Blue Thunder. None of these laps are counting, of course. Track state is going to reset to 10% here on the other side of qualifying, and then it will not change the rest of the night. You see how run it is right now. We had 4 drivers run over 100 laps in practice. So this track has taken a beating. And the beating is not going to let up. These trucks are tight. These trucks are loose. And these trucks, especially that right side door, are going to take a pounding to this outside wall as the night progresses. You can see it unloads very weird out of some of the turns. And that is all Watson needs. He is provisional, or rather not provisional. He is on the outside of row number 2. Well, I guess not, because we've got heat races. So depending on how many heats we have, he will either start first or second. Should mention as well, we have 20 truck features here in the Dirt 200 Special. We've got 21 drivers right now. So as of now, we're sending a driver home. But again, Hunter Leach, not sure if he's actually in the session or not. He was earlier. I mean, he ran a ton of practice laps, so something might have come up for Hunter Leach. But regardless, that would give us a full feature field. It would save us from having to run a B main. But 10-lap heat races, 100-lap feature this evening. That will be what is on tap here in just a couple of minutes' time. A look down the road just a little bit. Next Friday night, we are at the USA International Raceway. If you've never heard of it, it's because it is now an Amazon warehouse. But back in the day, it was a 3/4 mile, sort of like Martinsville, a big paperclip. It's on iRacing, preserved for the rest of time. There was an asphalt version, which was what was actually run, and then they decided in the sim to throw dirt on it. So since we don't have any of the Illinois State Fairgrounds or DeCoin State Fairgrounds tracks on the sim, that is going to have to do. And we're excited to go big track racing next week down at USA. Hello to Robin Modicek in the chat as well, as we're getting ready to go heat racing here in just a moment. And as we do, we'll be sure to give you tonight's starting lineup. Heat race number 1, 10 laps in distance. And this is how they will roll to the green. 7 drivers. Looks like we are going to have 3 heats this evening. And for heat race number 1, they will roll off like this. The driver out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, in the Stage A machine, number 44J. In the Chevy Silverado, that is Joshua Modicek. Not a surprise to see him leading the field of green. How about the now 3-time Daredevil Series champion out of California, the Team Watson Racing Setups, Boomer Button Boxes, Icon Apparel, number 39, Ford F-150, James Watson on the outside front row. How about joining us from Serbia tonight for the first time in his career? That is the driver of the Jess TV number 106 Ford F-150, Milan Lakovic, starts in the 3rd position. The reigning Venom Truck Series champion starts to his outside. Out of Frederick, Maryland, the Old Mother Brewing, number 400 Chevy Silverado of Matt Schlosser. Row 3 is the 73 of Brandon Hopkins, to the inside of the 117 of Johnny Salata. And Stephen C. Thompson out of Carmel, Indiana, the 24 Ford F-150 Press Start Player 1 eSport Team Watson Racing Setups entry will start in the 7th and final position. Heat race number 1. Bonus points on the line. And Matichek, of course, was off enjoying his 1-year anniversary last Friday night, but says he still wants to win this championship even though he's now 1 race in the hole. 5 rounds to go. Would be off to an awfully good start if he can win heat race number 1 here tonight. We are on the way. Matichek clears for the lead. Watson in second. Schlosser in third. Here is Lakovic looking to the inside of Schlosser. And side by side now for spot number 5. Hopkins through on Salata. These laps are going to click off quickly. As Matichek not quite getting away from Watson here, but Watson a little bit wide there. Through 1 and 2. And Matichek able to get a little bit of separation. Schlosser hanging in third. Lakovic sliding a little bit. Back towards Hopkins and Salata. Stephen C. Thompson still riding in the 7th position. Even with a reset track state, this track is still looking run-in and glossy. And with a little bullring action, I mean, this track was never intended to host trucks this heavy. The power to weight ratio is horrendous on dirt for the NASCAR trucks. If sprint cars here are fighter jets in a gymnasium, then this is like an Abrams tank show-off. These things are just lugging around here. 14-second laps. Stephen C. Thompson trying to get himself as far up this feature's starting order as he possibly can. Catfish in the bottom here, and will pick off Johnny Salata to move up to the 6th spot. Salata coming back here on the outside now. 2 laps to go at the front of the field across the stripe. Joshua Matichek continues to show the way. The first racing action of the night here for the Schrader Showdown at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. 1 lap to go in heat race number 1. And a reminder, we're probably going to lose timing and scoring because, for whatever reason, SDK Gaming does not love the heat racing format. Checkered flag is out, and heat race number 1 goes to Joshua Matichek. James Watson in second, Matt Schlosser in third. 4th place to Milan Lakovic, and Brandon Hopkins will round out the top 5. Stephen C. Thompson will move up 1 spot to 6th. Johnny Salata will finish in the 7th and final position. Same song and dance here. Heat race number 2 will roll to the grid here with Greg Johnson, our favorite Canadian, leading the way. He is the pilot of the Team Watson Racing F-150 in truck number 150. Starting on the pole. Today's outside in the number 700 Chevy Silverado. Aaron Smith, the second, starts in second. Row number 2 on the inside, that is Josh Heggie in truck number 7, the Red Dog Eminent Signs and Graphics entry, Ford F-150. Today's outside, John Kay out of Petoskey, Michigan, the Season 8 Venom Truck Series champion, piloting the Black Rifle Coffee Toyota Tundra on row number 2. Row number 3 on the inside, Chris Hazlip in truck number 93. The F-150 starts in 5th. Nicholas Pressey was very fast at practice. That did not translate very well to qualifying. The driver out of New York, at the Drip Die Casting Collectibles number 106 Ford F-150. And Gary Clark out of Hackett, Arkansas, the Northern Designs number 8 Chevy Silverado will round out the field for heat race number 2. And there is the legendary couch that we hear so much about in all of John Kay's post-race interviews. He's saying, don't suck to John Kay. Kay on the outside of row number 2. Johnson on the inside, losing the nose just a little bit. And Aaron Smith, the second, will go around the outside as Johnson a little slideways there. And now he's going to get a helping hand from Josh Heggie. They get all crossed up. They save it. Now they are 3 wide with Pressey stuck on the outside. Pressey moving backwards. John Kay, meanwhile, has moved up to the 2nd position, and right on cue, our timing and scoring has stopped working. So try and keep track of things the best that we can without timing and scoring. See if the side ticker is going to work here. Aaron Smith with a comfortable lead. John Kay in second. Greg Johnson has come back ahead to third. Pressey and Heggie now scrapping away from the fourth spot. And Hazlip and Clark also going to work here for the seventh position. Mentioned Andrew Couch. Hello to Bailey Montichek as well, and you are definitely welcome to hop in the booth anytime that you like. My guess is things are going to get really strung out next week at USA as those two drivers, Hazlip and Clark, way out of shape there through 3 and 4. Already halfway through heat race number 2. Heggie looking to motor right around the cushion on the top side, trying to track down Nicholas Pressey for spot number 4. Pressey doing a nice job picking up a few spots here. John Kay in second, 1.6 seconds back from Aaron Smith, the heat race leader. Pressey and Heggie, meanwhile, continue to go at it for fourth with 3 laps to go. Really trying to hook the bottom there. Pressey will nose into the wall. Two to go. That bright yellow 70 with an extra little 0 hooked to the side. Aaron Smith the second, leading the way in his first Turn 200 channel appearance. You'll see the white flag. No battle for position at the moment as Smith will round turns 3 and 4. Aaron Smith the second wins heat race number 2 and his Turn 200 debut. John Kay in second. Greg Johnson will finish in third. Josh Heggie in fourth. Nicholas Pressey will finish in the 5th position. Chris Hazlip in 6th. And Gary Clark in spot number 7. Back to the starting lineup for heat race number 3. And I guess we'll start the song over. Here we go. Joey Kirk, runner-up in last week's feature. He is the pilot of the number 37 Ford F-150, powered by a Wonder Bread. He'll lead the field to the green. The 2024 Max V Truck Series champion, driving the Miller Lite number 70 Ford F-150. Greg Maul is here for the first time in the Dirt 200 Special. He'll start on the outside front row. Last week's feature winner out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in the Maximum Velocity Racing League number 50 Chevy Silverado. That is James Lehman starting at third. To his outside, it's driver Colin McDonough in the 613 Chevy Silverado to Trenton, New Jersey. Pure Energy Cycling, StickerRobot.com entry. George Ward in truck number 36. This is the Chevy Silverado, powered by Coors Light on row number 2. And to his outside, that'll be Joseph Piscucci in truck number 15. One of the only Toyota Tundras out on the track here this evening. So working behind the pace truck here, ready to go for heat race number 3. This should be the final heat of the night as Hunter Leach is not going to hit the grid. I would imagine we probably are not going to need the Consi. We'll see. iRacing's heat race format is busted, so we'll see if we're going to have to run it anyway. Should be the final heat race of the night here. Off to the early lead, Joey Kirk, just with enough room to slide up in front of Greg Maul. George Ward to the inside of Colin McDonough. Now Ward is a little bit loose. McDonough trying to fire back here on the inside, around the outside. Lehman back to 5th. He's trying to be patient, work at the bottom here. He finds himself on the inside of 3 wide as Joey Kirk continues to show the way. Greg Maul uncontested in 2nd for the moment. Lehman, though, trying to muscle underneath McDonough. They make a little bit of contact as Ward gets up into the wall down the backstretch. McDonough again, right down on the door of James Lehman. 3 wide here should not work at I-55, and yet Lehman has made it work to perfection. Short slider to clear McDonough. Now he's to the inside of Ward for 3rd. Lehman not messing around. Sluggish start for him, but he's looking to get back to where he started this race, and he's done so. Lehman to 3rd. Here's a look at Greg Mall at the halfway mark of heat race number 3. You can already see the slick line developing here at I-55. The shortest track we'll visit on the circuit. Some of the highest banks will visit as well. Mall with a good run here down the straights. 4 to go. He is catching Joey Kirk. Hayden Palumbo in the chat cheering on the Schloss Boss. The Silent Assassin. I like the Schloss Boss better. I'm going to have to seal that one. Thank you very much. Just as quickly as Maul was catching Joey Kirk, now Kirk is pulling away. One to go. Little battle developing between Ward and McDonough once again for 4th, but the checkers are out. Joey Kirk wins heat race number 3. Greg Mall in 2nd, James Lehman in 3rd. 4th at the stripe, give it to George Ward, not by much. Colin McDonough in 5th, and Joseph Piscucci will come around for 6th. So we'll see now what the sim decides to do. We might have to take our mid-roll break here if they don't make us run the old B main. I think the B main is going to grid here, and it will have to run because this is how you determine starting positions for the features. So if you advance it, I mean, which they might. Again, we don't really need to run this because Hunter Leach is not here, but this is how they'll roll off regardless. Brandon Hopkins will lead in the 73. Nicholas Pressey to his outside. Row 2 will be Colin McDonough in the 613, and the 24 of Stephen C. Thompson starts in 4th. Row 3 is the 93 of Chris Hazlip and the 15 of Joseph Piscucci. And then Joey Salata and Gary Clark on the back row. Again, Hunter Leach is not here. He would be the 21st entry. And in theory, if we have 21 active participants or more, anybody over 20th will get cut ahead of the feature. But this is a nice little 12-lap practice race for some of these drivers that didn't quite get the heat race results that they were looking for. I think Nicholas Pressey in particular was looking for more, was making passes in his heat race, was second fastest in practice behind Joshua Matacek, but did not get a good qualifying effort. And I think it's indicative his heat race, considering the pace that he's had and the amount of laps that he's run, how difficult it is actually to pass and make a clean pass here. Certainly there's one way to pass. It is a guaranteed hit, and that's the bumper. And don't think you won't see the bumper being employed throughout the course of the night. Pace truck hangs a left, and I believe we're going to get after it. 12 laps for the B main. Don't have to worry about any non-transfers. Hunter Leach didn't start, but this is for starting positions for tonight's feature. Pressey down the backstretch. We'll take it into turn number 3. Hopkins and McDonough side by side for 2nd. Nearly 3 wide there for 4th. Chris Hazlip, Stephen C. Thompson, Joey Salata all in that mix. There's Gary Clark. Joseph Piscucci is fading just a little bit. Here's McDonough now to the inside again of Hopkins. Looking for 2nd. Hopkins able to get some momentum down the front stretch around that outside. They're keeping Pressey honest here. Pressey leading the way. McDonough in the 613, a hook in the bottom. You can see what these drivers see. It is not much. Oh, we got a problem. Gary Clark around. We're going to stay green from the looks of it. He's back up and rolling. Oh, man, it is getting chippy back here. Stephen C. Thompson, Joey Salata, Chris Hazlip all making contact there. Colin McDonough 5 laps to go. He is hounding the race leader as, problem for Pascucci, stuck in the middle of the track. And the leaders are not going to be too far behind here. Pascucci will get to the bottom and will stay green. So that will put him down into the 8th position. But again, he should be just fine to make this feature. No track state reset. The slick line that's developing is going to stay. Lots of moisture still trapped down right to that inside wall. And you'll see drivers going to that well for as long as they can. Can Colin McDonough try and make a move here to get himself a good starting spot? White flag, 1 to go. Around the outside, here he goes. A slip up for Pressey into the inside wall he goes, and Colin McDonough will steal the B main on the final lap. Pressey trying to give it full beans. Gonna put it into reverse. Put it in reverse, Pressey. He'll go from 2nd to 5th in the final corner. As Brandon Hopkins then will take 2nd, Stephen C. Thompson in 3rd, Chris Hazlip in 4th, Nicholas Pressey then in 5th, Johnny Solana in 6th, Gary Clark in 7th, and Joseph Pascucci will be the 20th and final starter in tonight's feature. Step aside for just a second to help pay the bills here. This is the Dirt 200 special. Schrader Showdown from the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 on Turn 200.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Welcome back to Pevely, Missouri, ahead of the Schrader Showdown here on Turn 200. It's Dirt 200 special, round number 2 of 6. Again, we hope to catch you again next Friday night down at the USA International. I guess a dearly departed dirt track, 3/4 of a mile paperclip for some big track action next week. And should be a whole lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to that before our little Thanksgiving break. Warm-up is wrapping up. We've got a full field of 20 drivers ready to go here tonight for 100 laps. The Schrader Showdown at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. And this is how they will roll to the green flag here this evening. On the pole at Hattiesburg, Mississippi, truck number 44J, Joshua Matichek, starts to the inside of heat race number 2. Winner in truck number 700, that is Aaron Smith II. Row number 2 on the inside, runner-up finisher from last week's feature in truck number 37. Winner of heat race number 3 is Joey Kirk. The 3-time Daredevil Series champion out of California, the Team Watson Racing setups number 39 of James Watson, starts in 4th. The Season 8 Venom Truck Series champion starts in 5th in the Toyota Tundra number 2. That is John Kay. And lining up to his outside in truck number 70, the 2024 Max Velocity Truck Series champion, that is Greg Mall. The Schloss Boss, Matt Schlosser, out of Frederick, Maryland, starts in the 7th position with Greg Johnson out of Canada in truck number 150 to his outside. Row number 5 is last week's feature winner in Knoxville. James Lehman starts deep in the field here in 9th. He'll start to the inside of the Serbian, Mladen Lakovic, in the 10th spot in truck number 106. Row number 6 is the 7 of Josh Hege on the inside of the 36 of George Ward. Row number 12, your B main, or rather, row number 7 rather, on the inside. That is the 613 of Colin McDonough, your B main winner. To his outside is driver Brandon Hopkins in the 14th starting spot. Stephen T. Thompson in truck number 24 starts in 15th. Chris Hazlip starts to his outside in the 16th spot. Nicholas Pressey, Joey Salata, Gary Clark, and Joseph Piscucci. The rest of your starting lineup. It's about to get crazy. Caution-free, but not incident-free. No cautions last week in Knoxville. Debatably, we could have had a couple. That is not going to be the case tonight. Not one bit. Joshua Matichek, James Watson, Joey Kirk, and Greg Mall. Cocked, locked, and ready to rock at I-55 for 100 laps. Green flag. Nearly 3 wide as Kirk will put it on the inside wall. Watson a little bit of shape around the outside. Oh, and we got big-time problems. Well, I just tried to throw the caution, and it did not come out. I don't know what the deal is there. Hopefully that is not... hopefully I have admin privileges, because I tried to throw it. Watson going to be in a world of hurt, though. We'll try and sneak a peek at that if we can at some point. Matichek continues to lead. Kirk in 2nd. John Kay is up to 3rd. James Lehman is up to the 4th position. Now to the inside of Greg Mall. As drivers are fanning out every which way. Take a look back at James Watson. He is still rolling. Back in the 19th position. Looks like no starts from Aaron Smith and Joseph Piscucci. Brett Slagle in the chat, cheering on Greg Mall, cheering on James Lehman. Lehman in 5th, Mall in 4th. Lehman on the inside of a fierce battle with Matt Schlosser. As Joshua Matichek continues to show the way at the front of the field. The Schloss Boss, newly dubbed in the 400 truck, ripping that top side. Lehman trying to make this bottom work. The top is going to work for as long as these drivers' trucks are going to hold up, as Kay is going to put it in the fence to try and get to the outside of Joey Kirk. Greg Mall is on the scene here as well. Mall with a little bit of front end damage, I would imagine, got a piece of James Watson as Watson went by. Kay is up to 2nd, but now he's 2 seconds behind Joshua Matichek. Still with 90, 90 laps to go. Kirk now having to fend off Mall and Schlosser. Schlosser's got the middle rolling. Now let's send it to the bottom here in 3 and 4. Mall still tried and true to the top. Kay, Kirk, Schlosser all on the bottom, Mall on the top side. They've got Greg Johnson and James Lehman on the top side behind them as well. Some good battles through the field. But our eyes focused right now on particularly the battle for fourth, but really could be the battle for second at any moment. Monacek will be hitting lap traffic here momentarily. As there's the race leader. He's already got some trucks in front of him. Things tightening up. Johnson and Lehman. They've got some experience running against each other in the Special States Pro Truck Series. Lehman a winner in Special Stage, ironically enough, on the Bristol Dirt Oval. Problems for Johnny Salata. He is towed to the pits. As Monacek now is into lap traffic and they're side by side in front of him. He's going to take it 3 wide to the inside of Gary Clark and Chris Hazlett. Meanwhile, Mall and Schlosser side by side here for fourth. Johnson continues to fend off Lehman behind them. Mall right up on the cushion, able to get that position and maybe try and put some work in to get away from Schlosser. Kay now going to be into the lap traffic. Monacek, we'll see what he sees. A little bit of reprieve. It'll be a second before the lap trucks are back into view in front of the 60 truck. Kay up to the wall. Joey Kirk going to follow him. Kay now will have to find a way through Gary Clark and Chris Hazlett. James Watson, meanwhile, battling hard, trying to fight his way back up through the field, really hooking that inside and maybe a little bit of over-rotation. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. Joshua Monacek is right behind. George Ward throwing it into the fence. 3 wide for a blip. Watch the hands here. As Ward is into the wall, Watson into Ward, and Monacek with a helping hand from behind, but able to get it corralled. And Gary Clark has had a problem, and he is headed back to the pits. And we still stay green. These drivers with issues finding their way off the track quickly. Schlosser trying to get underneath the Mall, straightened out quickly, and had to pump the brakes not to straight line the 70. As they make their way into lap traffic now, it's only going to get hairier. Schlosser up to 4th. Mall back to 5th and around into Johnson. Lehman going to get a 2-for-1 out of turn 2. Josh Heggie on the scene. Lehman to 5th. Mall now back to 7th as Johnson chops the nose down the front stretch. And the Miller Lite Ford F-150 has seen better days. That front end is all busted up. Heggie going to walk up to the door of the 70 truck. Continue to try and make ground. Oh, big shot there. Colin McDonough, your B-main winner, up to 9th. And working to the inside of Josh Heggie. So much to watch, so much going on. 3.5 second lead for Joshua Maticek. Working lap number 34 of 100. Caution free up to this point. But again, we are seeing these drivers just try and put this truck anywhere that it'll stick. And Milan Lakovic around on the front stretch, keeping it down to the inside. And no caution. I mean, this track is all slick. Where can you go? Joey Kirk and Matt Schlosser. Battle for a podium spot. Schlosser up into the wall. Kirk tries to rip it off the wall, sends it down the track, opens up the top here for the 400. The silent assassin lurking. He's got a nose ahead at the stripe, rolling the middle. Good run off the cushion. Kirk gonna feed him a slider though. Schlosser checks up, Kirk takes the spot back. Schlosser to the middle is boy, Greg Johnson out of shape behind them. George Ward was also out of shape, but Johnson headed backwards now to the 9th spot. Maticek is lapped up to the 9th, or rather to the 10th spot. Next up will be Greg Johnson in the 150. 3.8 seconds clear as they are 3 wide. This is John Kay threading the needle through lap traffic. Schlosser, meanwhile, back to the inside. Trying for this podium spot, and it is nip and tuck. Not even halfway yet. These drivers have got to be gassed. Here is James Lehman approaching rather quickly to try and challenge for third. That was John Kay that was riding the wall out of turn 4. 4.5 seconds behind Joshua Maticek as Maticek continuing to put down trucks here. Got a little bit of space now to work with as, oh, it stacks up right in front of Matt Schlosser. Lehman going to try and pick the bones here. 3 wide, and Schlosser hooked into the wall. Oh, and banks it off the inside wall. Yeah, I'm trying to throw a caution, and it is, yeah, somebody threw it because it wasn't me. I'm sitting here clicking the caution button. It's not going, so thankfully somebody else is on it. As Stephen C. Thompson went around right in the path of oncoming traffic, and the caution is out at the halfway mark of the race. This all starts well in front of him. And I forgot to zoom out our rear chase cam a little bit. I was using it to get sponsors earlier. But anyway, so we'll back it up. I think this is a 73 truck in front of Matt Schlosser. This is Brandon Hopkins. Yeah, but he is not really a factor there. Schlosser just tries to clear up. They get stacked up behind the 73 initially. And then Stephen C. Thompson parked backwards there on the inside of the track. So So thankfully somebody was able to hit the caution button there. As lap trucks get sorted out, it is not at all what Joshua Matichek wanted to see. Right across the halfway mark of the race, his lead is erased. Pace truck is off. He's got John K to his outside, James Lehman and Matt Schlosser now on row number 2. But Schlosser, not a good start. Joey Kirk will take over 4th. They fan out 3 wide behind for 2nd. As Lehman feeds the right rear to K. K will just barely escape Kirk and Schlosser. Top 10 drivers on the lead lap, and this is the show they wanted to see. Matichek v. Lehman v. K. Matichek has got him covered right now with 46 laps to go. Oh, Lehman is loose down the track, tags K. Oh, dear. That is a pileup. Caution is out for the 2nd time. Schlosser toes back to the pits. The Schloss boss is out of this one. As we'll try and get ahead. This is going to start with Lehman getting into the wall. Or rather, well, what does it start with? He's got to get loose here on the top. Yeah, doesn't get the wall, but just over-rotates, loses his momentum. And then Schlosser, K, McDonough. That's a big one. And I think this has just happened, so let's go back and see this again. Look how tight quarters this is. Lehman, there's anywhere that these guys can go. Lakovic piles in. That's Josh Hagee that gets a piece of it as well. Back to green. Greg Johnson nearly going to be put in the middle of 3 wide there. He works to the inside now. Greg Mall is on the podium spot. Mall on the top. Johnson on the inside. As these two work side by side, Matichek and K have gotten away. How about Nicholas Pressey up into the top 5? Never say die for the 94 truck. 73 truck Brendan Hopkins is a lap down. Fighting for space on the track, fighting for the lucky dog position. As of right now, he's got it. John K up 3 spots from where he started. Matichek on the pole. The 613 of Colin McDonough has just come back out onto the track after making some quick repairs on pit road. 3 wide. Oh, man, Lehman into Hagee, and Lehman shot back up into the wall, but still pointed the right direction. We still stay green. There is stuff going on everywhere with 35 laps to go. Go back to Hagee. Man, he is in the thralls of the pack. Hagee challenging Kirk with Lehman right behind. Lehman is zeroing in on the bumper of the 7. We'll see if he's actually aiming for it or if he is just using it as a reference point. Hagee trying to pull ahead in middle 3. And he'll get Kirk. Still trying to fend off Lehman to the inside. But Lehman is going to pull ahead to 6th. Greg Mall's still in third. Greg Johnson not too far behind. Good old classic Greg battle here. Little gyro cam action as Johnson goes up to the top rope in 3 and 4. .30 laps to go. It's Johnson right on the left rear quarter panel. And Johnson trying to muscle ahead in the middle. And he has got third. Nice move there for the 150 slider to complete. And Johnson has got the bronze. Mall not going to give it up, though. Oh, Johnson, hard shot there. Mall trying to turn underneath, but can't find any drive. 1.8 second lead for Joshua Monacek. You're not missing anything for the lead. John Kay still running in the second position. There's Nicholas Pressey in 5th. They've got the lap truck with the 73 of Brandon Hopkins between him and Mall. Mall now. Oh, he will get to the inside as Johnson turns it all the way down the track, and Mall is back to third. Great save for the 150 to not hit the inside wall, not make that situation any worse for himself. And now he'll have to do all that work over again. Monacek, meanwhile, already into lap traffic with 25 laps to go. And a comfortable 2-second lead, if you can be comfortable at all here at I-55. Lehman able to get away from Josh Heggie. They run 6th and 7th. Joey Kirk, the last driver on the lead lap for now, in 8th. As there's the race leader. In the thick of lap traffic, 3 seconds back to John Kay. We'll jump back in the field just a bit. Nicholas Pressey under fire now from James Lehman. Pressey in 5th. Lehman wants the spot as he straightens out in the middle of the turn there. Lehman struggling with the handling on this truck, as are most drivers, I think. As this track might as well be concrete at this point. There's hardly any dirt left on it. All rubber, all night, 20 to go. Lehman banging it off the wall. Mall and Johnson growing near once again. So the battle for 3rd, the battle for 5th. Lehman working hard. Oh, Pressey straightens out. This could be the opportunity Lehman needs, and Lehman will take 5th. Oh, Pressey nearly rooted up by Brandon Hopkins. Pressey again with a slip up. Josh Hagee will be quick to try and capitalize. Meanwhile, back to Mall and Johnson. They are nose to tail with 15 to go. Josh Hagee's just made the pass on Nicholas Pressey as we watch the Gregs go to work. Johnson swinging back to the inside. Push in the middle. With some contact to the wall, hangs on to 3rd for now. The Gold Miller Lite 50th anniversary Ford F-150 is breathing heavy. Certainly a lot of work in the body shop ahead of USA next Friday night. "12 laps to go. 3-second advantage for Matichek. John Kay is nearly 7 seconds clear of this battle. Ten laps to go. 9 at the stripe here for Matichek, who is not too terribly far behind this battle. As crazy as it is to say. Oh, we've got an issue on the bottom of the track. Driver's trying to pull back onto the circuit, and the caution is out inside of 10 laps to go. That was Joey Kirk and Chris Hazlett. That will cost Joey Kirk a lap. As Matichek went by, the laps are ticking away. We'll take a look at this one quickly. Oh, Kirk just losing the momentum. I mean, it's so easy for the back end it's really on the razor's edge here. If it goes out too much, you're going to lose all drive and just immediately start to slow down, just like that. So that's Hazlett ahead then, and Hazlett is going to come back down the track, and they're going to reconvene. They're both right in the path of oncoming traffic, so race control throws the caution. Brandon Hopkins will get his lap back. And I think, actually, Joey Kirk was able to stay on the lead lap. Just barely. And actually, Greg Johnson just got hit by his team boss there. The green flag is out. I have no idea what just happened there. Lineup was all out of whack with 5 to go. Maul and Lehman are going to be side by side for third. As Matichek is pulled away up front, 3 to go. Battle for the podium spot. Lehman able to pull ahead. 2 to go. Does John Kay have anything for Joshua Matichek? Coming to the white flag, this race is official. Welcome to the Dirt 200 Special. Kay takes a swipe, but the Schrader Showdown goes to Joshua Matichek at I-55. Kay in second, Lehman in third. To round out the podium, Greg Mull and Nicholas Pressey, the top 5. But it is a third channel victory, his second on dirt, and his first in what is technically his own series. Joshua Matichek victorious tonight in the Schrader Showdown at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 in Peathley, Missouri. And a Polish victory lap on the way for the 44J. And he'll try and evade capture from James Lehman, who is hit a nice tail slide there. I think if he does 100 backwards laps, he's going to undo the win. That's what I think. Oh, man, that was close. I don't think any of these drivers have hit the scale. Oh, Colin McDonough's going to get in on the action, too. Why not? He'll salvage a top 10. Oh, dear. Well, the celebrations will continue. But we will... I hate to cut away because one of these drivers is probably going to go sailing here in just a second. Oh, my Lord. A well-deserved victory burnout here tonight for Joshua Matacek. And here is the full finishing results after 100 grueling laps here tonight at I-55. Joshua Matacek, John Kay, James Lehman, your podium finishers. We'll talk to these three in just a second. Fourth place for Greg Mull, Nicholas Pressey. Had to transfer out of the B-main. Will start, or rather finish in the fifth position. Josh Heggie in sixth. Greg Johnson disappointing in seventh. He'd look to be on for a podium there at the end. Joey Kirk in eighth. Then drivers not on the lead lap. Brandon Hopkins in ninth. Colin McDonough in 10th. George Ward in 11th. Stephen D. Thompson back in 12th. Chris Hazlip in 13th. Mladen Lakovic in 14th. James Watson in 15th. Then DNFs for Matt Schlosser, Gary Clark, Joey Salata. And DNS is curious enough for heat race winner Aaron Smith. And Joseph Pascucci will be in the 20th and final position. Let's talk to your podium finishers here tonight at the Schrader Showdown. And we'll start with last week's feature winner, James Lehman, who will bring home the podium third here tonight. Welcome back to the booth, and congrats on a strong follow-up and a very interesting race at that, where you had to do a lot of elbows out driving tonight.
Yeah. First of all, I apologize to anybody I raced with tonight that feels like I did anything dirty to them. To be honest with you, blame the track. All right? Just blame the track. All right? That was not an easy track to drive, and I feel like the only way you could drive it was leaning on people, for sure. It was one of those dirt tracks where you have to lean on somebody to turn. So either you're leaning on somebody or you're leaning on the wall. Pick one. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
You know, the rumor has it that I may have made this setup, so I had a lot of laps in it, and I'd like to tell you, this truck is not cooperative. It is about as good as we could have gotten it, and it didn't drive very good. So, I mean, the situation, though, with it being a short track, though, I mean, it's dirt track racing in a truck anyway. You've got to have your elbows out to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to finish my beer. Yeah, I had to drink beer to race this one. This was rough. But, yeah, you definitely have to have your elbows out to run the truck on the dirt, let alone that. It definitely is not an easy thing to do. Lot harder than Knoxville. All right, I will put it at that. That was during practicing, I was like, geez, I don't know about this one, boys. I might just start and park. But I need points because I'm trying to beat everybody in points. So I think I'm still going to be sitting pretty going into this one.
Yeah, definitely. With a strong finish, back on the podium, 6 trucks past. It's a big points night for you. So we'll let you rest up after a hard-fought one here, but let's get some shout-outs in first.
Shout out to Matt, and Josh and you guys putting on a grid series. I like it. I am enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to USA and Bristol, personally. Those are going to be probably the best tracks, I think, for racing. And yeah. Thank you to everybody that showed out and everybody that watched it. All right. Looking forward to USA, baby.
Well, we'll look forward to talking to you again next Friday night, but enjoy the week. Good luck on Thursday as well, and we'll hope to talk to you again sometime next week.
Thank you.
All right. We go from one driver that was in last Friday to one driver that wasn't even here last Friday, but John Kay is your runner-up finisher here tonight. Great to get to talk to you on a Friday night. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know how I ended up here, but glad to be here. It was fun.
I mean, it certainly was intense. I mean, probably the most grueling 1 to 100 laps of, a handful of caution laps in there, but 50 laps straight. That was a lot.
I genuinely thought we were like it was going to be like lap 80 when I looked, when that caution came out, and it was lap 50. And I was like, good God, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Uh, Strictly from a skill point of view, I was like, man, I've almost bit it a couple times. And yeah, I mean, it was freaking crazy. Like a track this small, I told Josh before the race, I said, oh, it'll go quick. It'll be quick laps. Holy cow.
No, pulling those mid-15s by the end of the race, I think it was, that's pretty tough. But I mean, it's tougher to hold on to this truck as well. Not the least of which because you don't have any room to operate. But I mean, this truck just didn't want to really point where you were pointing it.
Honestly, it really wasn't that bad. Surprisingly enough, like a lot of the stuff I was doing, I was struggling in practice with it, but by the time we got to the race and got deeper into the race, I had it pretty well figured out. I could get it to do what I wanted it to do. So whoever built the setup I think they did a pretty good job. It was really, if you did things correctly, it was really stable. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a big, heavy truck and you're sliding it around. You got to manhandle it a little bit, but I thought it drove great. I'm pretty happy with it. I went 3 wide a couple of times and I really wasn't that stressed out about it. So I think that's if you want to, keep a checklist of things John K is going to look for in a truck that drives halfway pretty good. Go 3 wide without shitting your britches. That's one of them.
Well, I mean, this is a bull ring, not quite Eldora, but it kind of looks like Eldora at the end of the night. You can almost see your reflection in this track surface. I mean, this is slicker than a buttered possum, as Eric Breeding would say.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I'm glad it did. Honestly, like, there's another dirt league that I was in. It was really well ran. I have to say that. Just didn't quite have the attendance, so the tracks all stayed pretty well hammered down. And I noticed in practice, I was, again, shout out my mentor, Josh Matichek. I was talking to him, and I was like, man, this is the time I'm running. Like, I feel pretty stable. And Matt's like, honestly, if you run that the whole race, you'll do just fine. And I was, again, just rather impressed with myself. I didn't run out of talent too bad to where I, spun out or anything, and had some pretty cool moves that I hopefully were on TV. And yeah, it was a good time. I love dirt racing.
All righty, partner. Thanks for the time, and let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go. It's great to get to talk to you here on a Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I just missed you so much, Tommy. I wanted to have the opportunity to try and get here. Shout out my fiance. Shout out my fiance, Allie. I didn't yell as much tonight, so I was just kind of here chilling. But she's great. I'm sure she's crocheting something somewhere. Shout out my mom and dad. I think my dad may be watching. Shout out Couch. Couch texted me and said he was watching, so shout out to him. Shout out the Alabama gang, even though they're not here. Garrett, Paul, Kyle, Luke. Shout out Eric Breeding, even though he's not a part of our team anymore. And shout out Josh for all the help, not just tonight, but all the other times we run dirt. And shout out to you and Matt Schlosser for putting this thing together. When I heard about it, I was pretty stoked. And I missed last week because I had no idea what was going on. I didn't realize it was November already. So
yeah,
might be back next week. I'm not 100% sure. Not a huge fan of USA, so I may be sick or something, but I heard there's like Bristol and oh my God, Lernerville, and obviously got to be here for the Big E. So yeah, stoked, happy to be here. Maybe we can make it again at some time. Who knows?
Absolutely, we're going to be happy to get you whenever we can, partner. It's great to get to talk to you here tonight, and we'll hope to talk to you again on Tuesday at Phoenix.
Hopefully. Love you, Tommy. Thanks, brother.
Love you too.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man. Well, let's talk to Joshua Matichek. He was on the track just a second ago, but now has pulled that truck back to the hauler. I'm sure the libations are flowing as he's officially a winner in the Dirt 200 Special here at the Schrader Showdown. I mean, I don't think it's fair to say never in doubt because this track just kind of did whatever it wanted to do here tonight. There were a couple of times where you were literally wrapped up with lap traffic there. I mean, it was very intense.
Oh yeah, intense is definitely a word that can be used. But I mean, this track, it did exactly what I expected it to. I mean, I love this track. This is probably one of my all-time favorite dirt tracks. I mean, here, Eldora, probably here, Eldora and Charlotte are the three favorites, three most with the most time on them. So definitely was expecting that top to come in around mid race and then fall off pretty quick again. So just happy we could keep it clean and stay out front.
It's definitely one of the top 6 tracks in the Dirt 200 special schedule for season number 1. You were talking to me before the race a little bit, and that was a joke, by the way. We were talking before the race, and you said, "Yeah, it's going to slick in the middle, and the slick might actually be the kind of the grippy part." There is not a slick middle anymore. It is slick from inside to outside. This track is battered. I mean, talk about trying to make this truck roll anywhere and really getting to pick your spot, the luxury of that, because it didn't seem like anybody was really getting to do that at the end of the race.
Yeah, so honestly, I was actually kind of impressed. I actually learned something new about iRacing tonight, is that they actually seem to have some kind of interesting rubber physics where instead of just slicking off, it actually does pick up rubber in certain parts of the track. So actually, here the very bottom line is real flat, and then it goes up to banking. And that line about a car width off the wall, I ran there for a large portion of the night, and it actually seemed to pick up a little bit of rubber and actually kind of tighten the car up around mid to late race there before we had those last couple of cautions. So I was kind of impressed with it. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed searching around. When we were crossing for lap 98, I told John Kay, I said, "All right, I got to at least run the top a couple laps," and jumped up there and then had to shut him down and not let him get a free win out of it. But it was fun. Congrats to him as well. He ran a phenomenal race. I know he enjoys dirt racing too. So
yeah, I didn't know what to expect coming into tonight. Looking at the schedule, this one definitely catches the eye if you know anything other than Lernerville, where we're going to see some drivers going logging, I think. But I mean, if this is our show, it really wasn't that bad. These drivers handled it pretty well, all things considered.
yeah, definitely. I had even told you beforehand that I think we're going to have a lot of cautions, and I was impressed to get that long run through the middle. It really helped bridge a gap and give me some breathing room and keep me patient through lap traffic instead of having to push the issue to keep a gap behind and maintain that. But I think overall it was a fantastic race. The track got super slick. Kind of disappointed I didn't get to bank it off the wall at all. The opportunity just never really presented itself. But I mean, we're going to USA next week, so definitely won't be any wall banking there. But Bristol Dirt, I think it's in the cards. Eldora, I think you won't see me come off of the wall there. So definitely super stoked to run out the rest of the season.
Well, and off to a good start after enjoying a night off last Friday night, and great to get you up here in the booth straight away with a great points night and trying to see the rally in effect over the next 4 races after the win here tonight. Congratulations! Let's get some shout-outs in before I let you go.
Yeah, I mean, huge shout out to yourself and Matt for getting on board with us, and I know that it was your idea to begin with, and we all kind of put our single brain cell together to make 3 and come up with this crazy idea. So, I mean, huge shout out to y'all and Matt with Special Stage. Shout out to my wife, Bailey, and to my parents for watching, as always. Shout out to John Kay for chilling with me during the race and, giving me somebody to talk to instead of staying silent the whole time.
Well, thanks for the time as always. 3 brain cells on display here. Full power for the Schrader Showdown. Congrats on the win. Go celebrate, and we'll hopefully talk to you again on Tuesday.
Yeah, hopefully so.
And the specials, or rather the Dirt Track and Sim Racing League Hell Tour is underway, by the way. For anybody that wants to do a little pro late model racing, get yourself into the Dirt Track and Sim Racing League, and we will, or rather, join our Discord through the link in the description, and we will get you signed up with the Dirt Track and Racing League and get you into their Discord server as well. We appreciate Joshua for all of his help. Thank you to Matt Schlosser as well. Thank you to everybody that was hanging out with us in the chat here this evening. Greg Mall, Robin Matichek, Bailey Matichek, Andrew Couch was here. And Hayden Palumbo and Brad Slagle stopping by as well. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the show here tonight. We are at USA next Friday night. We'll hope to see you there at the old Amazon warehouse for the big 3/4 mile dirt track. In the meantime, we've got action with the Venom Truck Series Tuesday night at 2008 Phoenix Raceway. That'll be at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday night, we may or may not be going rain racing with the Daredevil Series for the first time in series history at Mount Panorama, of all places. Good God. Wet Bathurst, Wednesday night. We'll hope to see you at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Thursday night, the Max V Chase continues into Martinsville. What a week of racing it's going to be next week on Turn 200. Catch us for the Max V Chase at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time next Thursday night, ahead of USA Dirt 200 special racing action next Friday. That is all we got for you here tonight. Thank you to everybody at Special Stage. Thank you to everybody at the Dirt Track and Sim Racing League. And thank you to everybody that's watching at home. Thank you to the drivers that came out and put on a great show here tonight. That's all we got for you. Till we meet again from Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 in Cleveland, Missouri, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long and congratulations to the winner of the Schrader Showdown, Joshua Matichek. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.